I'll never slow up, no I don't take I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Hello everybody, Harvey Talks Prison here. I want to talk about somebody that asked me about the unwritten rules in prison. Things that, you know, everybody knows about not gambling and all that, but just little things he's talking about that you should and shouldn't do. One of the things is when you first enter a prison, you walk in there, it can be intimidating because everybody's looking at you, but you got to realize that everybody's just looking to see who comes in, see if they know somebody, checking out people, seeing if they're scared or what type of person they are. You know, they're reading people. And that's one of the things you got to do too, is learn how to read people, and I'll get in that later. But one of the things is, like, whenever I got transferred to another prison, I got transferred like 6 times, is when I walk in, no matter where I got transferred, I seem to know people from other prisons. But when I walk into a wing, pod, day room, whatever you want to call it, and people looking at me, I'm kind of checking them out too, seeing what kind of shoes they're wearing, or if they're even wearing shoes. Sometimes, for some reason, people come out of their cell with their shower shoes on, and they're not in the shower. They're sitting there playing cards and stuff. I always came out of the cell, always had my shoes on. I didn't just wander around with my shower shoes on. Excuse me. If they got state boots on, you know, state issued boots, a lot of people, you come in and you see them all got the state issues on, then most likely something's about to kick off. You kind of want to keep aware of they have tennis shoes on too, but usually people, they'll set their tennis shoes aside, they'll put their boots on when something's about to kick off. Another thing you got to worry about is keeping, well, you should shower. You know, if you don't shower, your cellie and other people are going to get mad at you. But keep the cell clean. If you shave in the shower, don't leave the hairs laying everywhere, you know, in the sink and everything. You know, always wipe the toilet off. But even to now, after I'm out, I brush my teeth, I spit in the toilet. A lot of people in prison do that. And it's a habit. When you get out, you still do that, you know. But I'm not saying you have to do it. If hopefully you don't end up in prison, but if you do end up in prison, I'm not saying you have to do it, but I'm just letting you know that a lot of people do that. They don't want spit and you know, toothpaste and stuff all in the sink and stuff, you know. And you might also want to know who your cellie is. I ain't talking about just those with messed up cases, because you want to know if you have one of those too. You know, get out, dude. Out. And you tell them, I don't care what you tell them, but you tell them you can't live here. But I'm talking about just anybody, you know. You get in there, a cell with somebody, you get talking to them, because there's people that's deleted their own cellies, and you want to know about that. You know, that's something you want to know about. So you gotta kind of know who your cellie is, you know. And you learn that over time, you know. Whenever you move into a cell, he's going to be asking you questions, you're going to be asking him questions, especially if you guys don't know one another. If you know each other for a while, then just cool, you know. But and there's still going to be questions asked, you know. Hey man, you know, how much longer you got to do this and that, you know. I never did ask you, man. What are you in here for, you know? And just little things, you know. You don't get in other people's business, but pay attention to what's going on around you. And you'll learn how to do that, you know. I mean, you'll do it without even thinking. Movements and stuff, you know. And you'll see people, certain people hanging together all the time. And that's especially true on the yard, too. don't just walk up to a cell and look in. That's a bad thing. You might see illegal activity going. You might see something you don't want to see, you know, or that he don't want you to see. You knock and you wait for a response. And he will either tell you, come back later. You know, he'll say who it is, and he'll either say, come back later, or come on in, or hey, what's up, you know, whatever, you know. Out in the yard, you need to learn how to read the yard. And what I mean by that is everybody, Missouri is not like other states where the yards are separated by race, but everybody has their groups they hang around with. And you can always tell when there's something about to kick off on the yard. I mean, it's hard to explain, but you just know. You know, you see these people posting up. You'll see people moving around. You see groups, you know. But just don't walk up, you know, and grab a basketball and start playing. You know, people have their certain areas they hang out with. You know, there'll be a group that play basketball, a group that play handball, a group that work out. A bunch of people that work out, but they work out. You know, they got little groups work out. And you just don't want to walk up there and start working out, or walk up there and start playing handball. You know, just like if you're on a handball court, basketball court, just stand off to the side and watch them. And somebody will get tired and want to sit out, or somebody have to leave or something, and they may look at, hey man, you want to play? That's how you do that. The weight room, you say, hey man, anybody got this bench after you? And they may just say, hey man, you can get in with us. If there's not very many of them, hey, come on and get in with us. You know, if they think you're all right, you know. The chow hall. When you get in the chow hall, man, it's... When I first got to Missouri State Penitentiary, one side was white and the other side was black, so they don't do that in the prisons now in Missouri. But there is groups that sit in certain places, you know. Those with messed up cases, they kind of sit off to the side. If there's any, sometimes there won't be any, but sometimes there'll be a few of them. They're sitting off to the table by themselves. Shouldn't even be in the chow hall. Get your butt out here. Go! There might be an organization taking up a couple seats over here, you know, or 3 or 4, you know, whatever. They want to let certain housing units out at a time for a child. So not everybody's going to be up there at once. But just follow, if you got, you know, a good cellie, just say, hey man, I want to know where to set the chow hall. Follow him, you know. And don't be the first one. Just, even if your cellie's not going to chow, just kind of hang back and see where everybody's going, you know, and then try to find. Please don't sit with those messed up cases. Because people are going to think that you're one of them. You know, they're going to... But it's like that with anyone. You hang around certain people and people are going to think you're one of them. After years in prison, I was a older guy, and there was a couple young, we call them knuckleheads. The ones that are always getting in trouble and stuff. Those who knew me knew I wasn't a knucklehead. And they didn't ask me sometimes, said, man, what are you doing hanging around with knuckleheads? Man, I like those knuckleheads. That's why. They're cool people. Not all of them are. I'm just saying the ones I hung around with were. And I know it's hard. You say, man, you hang around with troublemakers and all this and that, but they was good people, man. They give you the shirt off your back if they liked you. They just got in trouble all the time. And I even told them, man, you guys need to straighten up your lives, man. You need to get things right, man. Always going to the hole over stupid things. And they just laugh it off, you know. But it's true. There were some people who didn't really know me, and they assumed I was one of them. And just because I talked to them, hung around with them, maybe worked out with them, doesn't mean I was going to crash dummy like they was. I was a dummy, knucklehead, you know. I just liked them. They was cool people. But other than that, you know, especially like those with messed up cases, don't be hanging around them, you know. You don't know who they are. They all have a certain look, and besides, they'll be kind of isolated. You know, people kind of keep them off the... Yeah, you don't mess with those. But you learn to read people too. You know, you learn to know when somebody's acting. Believe it or not, COs do this too. They know when somebody's hanging around somebody that they normally don't hang around with. They know when somebody's not acting like they normally act. And that's what you gotta learn yourself, you know. Hey man, why is this dude over here at the basketball court? He's never over at the basketball court. Now you just keep walking. You know, but you keep file that. If you see somebody sharpening something on the concrete, don't be staring at them as you walk by. They're going to ask you, hey, what's going on? You know, they might have a problem with you doing that. Just walk on by. You'll see transactions, illegal transactions. You guys know what I'm talking about. The dope man is always on every prison yard. If it doesn't concern you, you're going by. If it does concern you, make sure you have your money. I'm just kidding, man. I told you, man. Stay away from the gambling and all that, you know. Store man. The store man. Every wing, every housing unit has one. You know what a store man is? In Missouri, it's usually, he has commissary items, canteen items. And like if you he gives you a bag of Keefy coffee, you give him 2 bags. Some of them make a better deal. Some of them, you know, they give you 2 bags of coffee and you give them 3 bags. But I do not recommend messing with the store man, especially when you first get to prison. But after you've been there a while and you get yourself established a little bit, and there's going to be more than one. You find one that's pretty cool. And the reason why I say, you know, find one pretty cool, they all want paid. And they all will get paid one way or another. But you want one that, in case your money does not hit when it's supposed to, you can go and talk to him and he'll be a little reasonable. But he's only going to do this like once, at the most twice. And then he's going to deal with you for not paying him. He's going to think he's being played. And he can't look weak around everybody else. See what I'm saying? He will get paid one way or another. It's best to stay away from him, but I know sometimes you run out of coffee or something, you have to go to the store man. If you have somebody who's cool with, that you become friends with, it's better to say, hey man, you got a bag of coffee I can get you from you into a store day. That's better than going to the store man. But there might be a situation where you have to go to the store man. I'm just saying, try to pick out a dude that's it's all right, you know. And but I have not met a store man yet that has let somebody beat him. They just won't. And it always ends bad when you don't pay them. Real bad. Trust me on this. I'm sure other people have said this on videos too. In fact, I know a couple have. And they're not lying. They're not lying one bit. It's a serious situation. It's not like out here you borrow $10 and then it takes you forever to pay it back. The situation is different in prison. Very different. That $10 is worth a lot more in prison. Plus, it's just the principle of the thing. You don't want anybody to beat you, man. That's another thing. If you loan something to somebody, you make sure they pay it back. You cannot let them go without them not paying it back. So you know. Anyway, that's about all I got for you today. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.